I thought, this game here, coming in was a measuring stick, I think for both teams. And I thought, both teams came out, especially us early, with a lot of intensity. We jumped them to maybe a 14-point lead. And we told the kids during the timeout that these guys are good enough to come back a few times during the course of the game. And certainly they proved it. But I got to give these kids credit. They made 2 or 3 runs at them, but they never took the lead on us. And I thought we handled their size, a lot better than most teams. So far they had us by 3 or 4 inches, on every person inside.
How important was Jerome tonight? It seems like the last few games he's kind of been doing it in spurts, having a good first half, and maybe disappearing in the second half tonight. Seemed like he played, the whole 40 minutes.
I thought Jerome, had his best game, of the year. He looked like the Jerome of last year. He was such a key for us coming in off the bench last year and creating not only offense, but getting offensive boards and then doing some of the little things that a team needs, to win. And I thought tonight he played his best, all-around game. And I thought he was, the guy early when we were struggling to score. He made some key threes and it gave us some confidence on the offensive end.
Adrian Oliveira went down with an injury in the second half. We won't speculate, but just maybe talk about how important he is, to this unit.
Very important. He's, the glue in terms of what we try to do offensively. He gets us going. He's a creative passer. He gets the ball. He makes the extra pass. And right now, we don't know what his status is, but he got his knee pretty good. He felt it pop, and we will know tomorrow when the trainers take a look at it, a second time, after the swelling goes down.
We haven't talked since he reached the milestone, but Devin Gilligan being honored before the game for his 1,000th career point, kind of what does that mean to him as a senior and having, a really good career here?
It means a lot to him. Devin is one of these kids that you coach, once a lifetime. He has a motor that keeps going. He wants to win. He's intense. He brings it every day in practice. And, he sets the standard in terms of, what we need to do every day in practice. And right now, he's playing as well as anybody in our league on both ends of the floor. I need to give him credit. He lost some weight over the summer. He worked, his butt off trying to, become an all-around player, and it showed so far this year.
Great start to cross-divisional play tonight. Saturday, you go down to AIC, a team that you last saw here in the first round of the Northeast 10 Championship last season. Kind of what do you need to do there to be successful?
Well, we talked to the team that, right now, we need to solidify our presence on the road. Last year at the end of the season, for us to accomplish what we accomplished, we were road warriors at the end. And so far this year, we haven't won on the road, even though we played most of our games. We only won 1 game on the road so far this year. So, I think the next week will give us an opportunity to avenge some road losses early in the season, and we have to start, at AIC.
Great. Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.